Hello and welcome to another Culture Foolishness recap of Power Raising Kanan. This is for season 4, episode 8, right?
Yep.
Yeah. Almost there, folks. I am Creed of Exodus Studios and architectsofmars.com and my co-host EM.
Coach, Amara Simone, your favorite life coach's favorite life coach. If you don't know, now you know. Baby, baby.
Now it's just like you feel like it's not complete. Like you have to say it. I feel like that's what's happening. So,
You started it.
I did, and I've been trying to leave it alone, but now you done just like it's what it is.
Anyway.
So this episode's pretty eventful and some good scenes, some revelations, and the normal double crossing and just, taking people out that's in the way type shit. And that's where we open. So, Quan spot is getting ransacked and everybody up in there then got shot. And
Leon? Oh,
and he is currently tied up. And it's Marvin and
it's like when he was talking, like as I heard him talking, I was like, that's Marvin. And the only thing that will make it a little clearer is if he was eating.
right, or mentioned food or something like that.
He had some Cheetos or
So
something to be like, yeah, that's that nigga.
So basically, crime was a problem. They made it look like a robbery because, I mean, why not? They had money there. You might as well take it because you ain't gonna need it because you're dead. Plus, it's gonna not make it look like we did it per se because we don't need to rob nobody for real. You don't need to, but needing
Right.
and doing something is two different things.
Very much so. Very, very much so.
So, um, he took him out and then I just feel like it's gonna be repercussions from that because obviously he connected to something bigger than what's get going on there. And he foreshadowed, he said he was like, you don't know what I'm connected to. He was like, well, we don't care. But
Yeah.
we're gonna
Now,
see.
I would imagine that that would come back and bite them in the behind if like
Hmm.
there was some type of hidden camera that they didn't know was there that captured everything.
Honestly, that could be a case, although yes and no. I mean, if you think about the time it was, cameras were around, but they weren't used this the extent of now. But
I mean,
still a
yes.
possibility. Still a possibility. It's not out of the realm because they existed and people use them, motherfuckers. So that could be that. Um, so the next scene was old Lulu with his boofang. I didn't want to see nothing. Like they always be finding way to show people booty cracks and stuff. Like I didn't need to see nothing going on with that. But whatever, it
And
is
as
what
a
it
woman,
is.
I don't particularly want to see that either. Um, and I damn sure don't want to see them engage in any type of physical activity with her little thirsty self. So I really don't have
So
anything further.
I mean, that scene was whatever. I mean, basically, she wanted to see if he want to be serious, and now he does, and woo woo skippity skip.
Do he?
Not really, but he just
Oh,
want to keep that around, so he gonna say whatever. Although she trying to get him to open up and all of that, but we gonna see. And then we go to B-Rilla and his
shenanigans.
foolishness and shenanigans. So the Kenyatta dude and his little henchmen pull up on him and basically like tell them like they gotta rob the actual guy and you gonna help them do it and blah blah blah, which on a lot of levels, they're dumb. Like you just went over there, barely got out of there. Okay, fucked it up. Now and every it's funny because Lou and him really was logical. It's like this hot. Like you can't do this now. Like people own it now. Like now, before it was out of the blue, it didn't go the way it was supposed to go. And okay, that's it, But
I mean, as soon as I heard Kenyatta talk, I was like, this is a nigga who just got out of jail. And jail niggas always have this dusty these dusty aspirations as to ways that they can hit a lick. So it didn't
mhm.
surprise me that he wanted to go back when the block was essentially forget hot, it's on fire. And they just want to go back because that's what penitentiary niggas do.
Well, they want to go back to jail where their boyfriend is. Anyway,
No, I don't even think it's that for him. I think he just want to go to jail to preach more of his hotep nigga babble. That's what he wants to go to jail for. He wants to come back like, the king is back. And let me tell you about these Bantu proverbs. Like, okay.
you said hotel nigga babble. Okay, so what else happened? So,
So
um,
right after that, then Kanan and Juke meet up
mhm.
and they're kind of talking about the OC situation and the whole thing with how Kanan feels like Rox is behind Fame getting taken out, and basically Kanan is like, we need to. In fact, they don't know that he got taken out. Well, they don't know what's going on. He's missing.
Well, he didn't even.
OC is missing.
The conversation that they were having simultaneously, or maybe right at whatever, the scenes overlap. Basically, OC got killed right after they even met
Right.
up
But
talking about finding the fool.
at this point, they're just like, well, OC missing. We don't know where he at. So Kanan was like, I'm gonna pop in at his mom's house. And Juke is like, nah, let me do that. Cause you're gonna roll up on this woman, and that may not work out well for you. But as a female, I can perhaps put a little finesse on it. So that
Hmm.
was kind of the conversation. And then we go to OC pretty much crashing out because he hot. He know that they after him in these streets because he didn't did some BS. So now he's in, I guess, one of Neek's spots with Neek and his people. And Neek show up, and OC just don't know when to say when. Let's just say that. I think that's a good way to.
No, he didn't. He's in a world that he shouldn't be in general, and that's the root of the problem. And dealing with Meek in any way, you should already know this fool crazy, and you
It's Neek,
can't
yes.
really press up on him in any way without it really being the worst repercussions to that. And that's exactly what happened. They shot him up and dumped him somewhere, and they found him later on in the episode.
They threw that nigga away like some cold Chinese food.
Mm,
Okay.
mm, mm. Sad.
He
So,
kept saying, man, he was trying to get out of town. He's like, man, I need to be gone. I need to be gone. And Neek made sure he was gone.
this is my thing, right?
Be careful with your
Okay.
words in these streets.
If he found the money first, why didn't he take a couple stacks for himself and be able to just dip out? Because you can't stay at this point. Just take you some money and leave.
Because he
Because he
attacked.
didn't know how much money was in the damn thing. He could have
That
took
is
some
true.
money, gave him the whole chest of money, and he would have been fine.
But
And he didn't
he was
care
too
about him
scared
no
of him
way.
to do something
He's
like
too
that.
scared and
He felt like,
dumb.
oh, he might search me, or he might like he's just scared.
Yeah. I mean, he ain't wrong. He is crazy, so he could have done it. But I just feel like you get a chest of money, you just like, oh, word, all right, cool, there we go. But maybe not. I don't know. Nick is crazy.
He I was
So
wrong.
maybe he rightfully was that way. So now back to a little dumb be real. So he tell basically they at the studio, he looking distracted. They stop the session. Lou asks him what's going on. He reluctantly tells him the little botch little plot. And you know, of course, he called him an idiot and all the things that anybody would have said because he is one.
Yes, yes.
But what ended up happening? Oh, he went and talked to them, but that's later on in the episode.
Yeah.
But yeah, be real or stupid. That's really what every appearance shows more and more is that this Negro was stupid. Even with the music, he trying to like expand what he's doing. He's not trying to say don't rap about this, but it's like do some another song about some other shit too. Because all you giving me is shoot 'em up, shoot 'em up, shoot 'em up, shoot 'em up, and like we know that don't really have
It only
longevity on
goes so
this.
far.
Yeah, it only goes so far. So, what do you have to add to that before we moved on? Anything?
No, no, I think you got it. I think you covered all bases on that.
I just don't care for that guy. I just don't like him.
You
I feel
know,
like he gonna do something extra dumber than what he already did too, because he ain't already been doing dumb shit.
yeah,
Mm-mm. So, our good friend, what is that cop's name? Is that his name Garcia?
maybe. I don't
I
know. His
think
name is
so.
Garcia.
He went over there and started harassing Unique basically to confirm that he's back, and then two, trying to get some information and also essentially saying that they gonna pin the murder of his brother and what's the cop name again?
I want to say it's Detective Malcolm, but I could be
Yeah,
wrong.
yeah, yeah. Malcolm something. That was his first name. I forget his last name was something else, but we got close. We got half of it. Um, so yeah.
Yes. Which I was like, if I'm the popos, that actually makes sense.
It does. So that's
So
a whole nother layer of mess that he got to deal with in addition to losing his connect. And now you owe the mafia money. So that is not where you really want to be in life at all.
no, no, it isn't.
Because he already cheated death once messing with the mob. That's not conducive to that at all.
Correct, for sure, for sure. Um, where do we go to next? Um,
Let's see. So
do we go to Juke or do we wait?
uh actually let's go to Snap and Pop and
Yes,
Kanan
yes. Thank you.
because they I did Did this get revealed just in this episode that they are the ones basically behind Famous Game? Okay, because I didn't know if it had popped up like
No, it
when it was
didn't.
happening.
That's
So
why in previous like when Kanan first mentioned Rock, I was like, that's not completely impossible. But
this
now
makes
we
more
know.
sense. That makes more sense, it being
Yeah,
them. And then the fact that they still, trying to mess with Kanan, knowing that they, basically killed his best friend is pretty
trash.
villainous.
Yeah.
But they are villains, so
They are. They absolutely are. And he then came to them, trying to see if see if they got any intel.
he
And
didn't do nothing but tip them off of
I know,
their situation basically being rumored in the street of going a certain way when it was really just supposed to look like some random shit. But you mess with sloppy people, you get sloppy results. So,
Yes.
and clearly those cops are just out to pad their wallets with some extra crime money. They ain't really good at nothing.
Yeah, well, we know that, so there's that. Not really anything new there.
So, oh, I don't know. I think this might have came up earlier, but um Marvin went to see early about
Yes.
the mafia dude that Stefano was asking him about that owed some money. This fool
Well,
early they
well, actually, Stefano hadn't asked him anything yet. He just went to see
That's right.
early.
That's right. And he
He went to see
found out.
early to just collect, just collect as per usual.
Hmm.
And when early, delivered no problems, he was like, okay, so what happened with the one little issue that you was dealing with? And he basically like he took care of it, but he took care of it in a way that he wasn't supposed to take care of it. And then he got his little loudmouth ass cousin to assist. So now
Londale.
Londale. It's always a Londale or a Slidell. So either way. So he got his cousin Dale, we'll call him Dale, to assist. And Dale and Ari did a bid for blabbing about robbing a check cashing place like a loser. And so now Marvin is concerned, like, okay, like one, you wasn't supposed to take dude out, and two, because you didn't mess with the wrong people, and then you picked the wrong person to mess with the wrong people with. So he knows that, since this is one of Stefano's, people, that this can cause friction, especially if it gets back to him in any capacity.
Hmm. And this is the thing that's so dumb about early. He already said when he was like, oh, he said he was made, blah, 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 blah. That's why you can't kill him, dumb dumb. Like he's telling you what it is. Now, yes, it sucks you have to deal with that, but they trying to, that's the hierarchy. But he's a hood dude. So he's like, yeah, yeah, yeah. Pop
Sticky
pop.
situation. It's a sticky situation because it's like this dude owe money. He won't pay because he made and he feel like I can't be touched. And even if Early would have tried to rough him up, then it just would have came back on him. Because if you let him
Hmm.
live, he's just going to use his status
Hmm.
to retaliate. So he read like he
It was a lose-lose
it
situation
was a
for
lose
real.
lose situation. Um, it's just that Londale slash Slidell character who kind of messed up the whole you dig. Because if he didn't pick him, then it wouldn't be so much heat. And to be fair, dude ain't said nothing, but he's not above running his mouth. And
Well,
that's
once it's established that you be talking, then people don't trust you. So even if
correct.
he did turn over a new leaf, so to speak, don't matter. They already know you. That's your reputation. That's why you have to protect your reputation. And I think you was gonna go to this before we kind of sequence this, but the scene with Juke going to OC's mama house, pretty hilarious just
I love it.
because people really be trying it with her, and she is beyond like if there was like a dictionary and a picture of the definition that I ain't the one a picture of her next to that. Like, no, like don't try her.
Well, I mean, first of all, let's just say this. Don't try no one. Like a girl comes to the crib looking for your little brother and the first inclination that comes to your mind is to try and rape her. Nigga, I wish she would have shot you.
Really,
Like, really
honestly.
and
And
truly.
then the fact that she's saying she your brother's friend, and that's the first thing you do. Like, dude, you suck. Like, what? Then nothing.
You are the worst of the worst. And
ugh.
she clocked your goofy ass and she about broke your finger. And which is perfect. Like when he got all up on her, I was like, y'all, you better damn not. And then she get look, she got up on that type of time with him. And one thing she loved to do is pull out a piece on a nigga. So that was just perfect.
Yep.
That was just absolutely perfect.
It's like, have you seen it? It's like, I haven't seen it about a week. See, you didn't have to, if you had just did that in the first place, you wouldn't have to get a knot on your head.
Yeah, yeah.
She's dope. I'm really liking the way her character's evolving, even though we know her, ultimate
Well, you know what?
end,
What's
unfortunately.
interesting about this is that when you just watched her in the first Power, you were just like, ugh. Now, but in this, you know, you like her, you have empathy for her, you not even if you resonate with her story, but you just like you want her to win at this point, which means that the whatever happens that turns her into this person, because like, and it could just be a continued build up.
Eh,
Like it could, like, I don't think it was any one thing, although it could
mm-mm.
be. It could be that something like the tipping point
Push
type
her
of thing.
over, yeah.
Right. It could be like a bunch of things build up and then there's one thing happen and was just like, yeah, I choose violence every day of my life for the rest of my life. It could be that. She's close, because she definitely got on some savagery with that girl in the nightclub. Got her a good old O about the situation and was
And she
like,
was like,
yeah,
and deuces. Ah.
look, good looking out. All right, peace. You be cool.
That
Um,
that was trife. That was trife the way she did that. I
well,
was like,
right, well, you know what? That's what y'all get for being slutty. Stop being slutty like that. It's like,
that's
what,
true.
what,
Because she
what,
knew exactly who to go to because you already established.
Slutty McSluttington. That's what happens. It's nasty. But I digress as far as that's
Hmm.
concerned. Where do we want to go
Um,
next? Do we want to go with
us,
the Lou?
yes, I want to go back to Lou when he went to Kenyatta's store to confront him. And basically, they just bitched him out because he ain't with rock and not doing the street shit anymore, and they know that, so they basically like whatever you say, we don't care because you bitch made now. And he was the hotel man. Kenyatta was talking about him being castrated by the white man and all this fuck shit. He was like, okay, all right, see what I'm gonna have to do is remind y'all who I am. It's fine. It's fine. That's what I gotta do though.
Yeah. hmm Um. What then? After that, Marvin talks to Rock,
Hmm. And
and
lets her know what's kind of going on with his foolishness,
and,
his
and
little
she
side stuff.
she
She's not because they pretty much set up to go crazy right now. They got the shipment from Hafiz.
mm-hmm,
Well, she coming through because it was last episode. He was like, I don't know what to tell you. Now the next episode, here's the whole palette. So he
bricks
like,
on
hey,
bricks.
he figured it out.
He figured it out.
So they got that. And honestly, all they need is to stay cool with Stefano. And now they the supplier.
Yes,
So,
yes, for sure.
but Marvin is Marvining things up a little bit. Cause she was like, he was like, well, I'm gonna take care of it. He's like, you, what'd you say? I
I'm a
got it. It's
fix it.
like, what? I'm a fix. Like, you ain't been seeming like you good at fixing shit. Well,
Well,
she gonna tell you. She gonna tell you. That's
just
one thing
say it.
Rock gonna do. She gonna say
She
it
gonna say it.
every time. So, Unique pulls up on Snap and Pop. Oh, that's their name.
Snaps and pop.
Snaps and Pop, right?
And before
Um,
that, then they went to their little dirty cops.
hmm
Kind of, I guess, give just to basically tell them like y'all messed up.
And now you got people looking at who did this, and then it could come back to us, which we don't want.
Correct. Correct.
So now they putting a little dusty plan in motion, which we will get to. Oh,
Yeah.
whack as hell. So, Unique is basically trying to team up with them because obviously he need a connect, and he's already dealt with them in the past, even though, 9 times out of 10, I'm pretty sure he don't trust them, but who can you trust in that world, really? Nobody.
Precisely.
Mm, not even your fam, shoot. Because well, that's for next episode, because I see what they trying to do. Let's see what else happened.
So Marvin has dinner with Stefano,
Mm,
and I mean they're just talking, they're talking
casually.
business, regular, regular, degular. And Stefano was telling him, like, because Marvin is on some, we about to take over the world, Craig, not just the city, but the world, Craig. And Stefano, like, nigga, make sure Queens is good before you do all of this. Like, like I get what you're trying to do, but we need to make sure that this is locked down before you try to do all of that. And you talking like this is already on lock and it's not.
Because y'all still got that shit is shaky because Unique is back. So,
Or no, what did he call him? The second coming of Nick, of Unique.
yes, I mean, it is. So,
It,
that's what it is. So, in the midst of that conversation, he asked him about the old boy, does he hear anything? And of course, at this point, he does know exactly what happened, but he lied straight to his face. So, I feel like just from the way that he was looking, he already know that old boy had something to do with it or did it or whatever the fuck. I feel like he know already.
think so?
I
Hmm.
feel like he might because I feel like he was
Was it the
giving him a
concrete slippers
chance.
remark?
Hmm.
Was it the concrete slippers remark?
That was a clue, but I think he was trying to give him a chance to
Them.
be truthful, even though I don't know if it would have worked out either way,
It wouldn't
but
have worked out.
um lying is worse, so I don't know. Or
Yeah, that's
maybe it ain't. It give you buy you some time. I don't know.
not okay. Um, yeah, it's not okay. So let's see, where else are we? What's next? Uh,
Let's see. Kanan and them find out that OC is dead.
yes, but
Because at
before
first,
that, well, I mean, we already mentioned that Rock meets up with what's his name,
Hafiz,
Hafiz, and
yeah,
everything is just look. That's the happiest we've seen her all season.
she looked very elated when she saw them drugs. She was very happy.
One thing before we go into what you were going to say, I want to go back to when Juke and Rock was helping to clean out the mom's house.
Hmm.
'Cause that was an emotional moment. Like even like Rock was kind of reminiscent in a good way, but you could tell it was taking a little bit of a toll on her from a what's the word I'm looking for? Just
Emotional.
yeah, yeah, it was taking an emotional toll on her. So you know.
Well, also what she did, and I'm sure she thinking
Right,
about that, and
for sure.
so many layers to that. She's trying to do what she wanted, but obviously, you don't want to pull the plug, so to speak, on your parent. And she wasn't even in that state. She was still coherent. So, yeah, I could see that. But it was a nice scene, though, as far as like establishing that closure. I'm sure we won't hear too much about the mama no more after that, to be honest. Especially with the next two episodes, probably about to be a whole fool.
My
Um,
So then, they go to when Juke is at Kanan's at the trap with Kanan, cleaning her gun, and that gun is her new best friend. And then, somebody, one of the soldiers off the street come and let them know, like, hey, we found OC. And it messes Kanan up, like people keep dying around them, and it's not really anything he could do about it.
mhm.
So
Also, I feel like he mad because he know that nigga stole his money and now he can't get the money too.
oh
I'm
yeah.
pretty sure that is an aspect. He
Oh,
ain't just
I'm sure
saying
that's
it.
the large aspect of it. I'm sure that's a very large. Look, they wasn't buddy buddy. It wasn't. They ain't famous.
No,
It's just like
no,
this nigga's gone, and now any chance of my money coming back is gone too.
that part. So, our friend Londale, they was having a little card game at Early's shop, and he's hanging out because that's the fam and the bros, and some funny little jokes flew in that scene actually.
Yeah,
But he had to go use the washroom
he
and
has to relieve himself, and
went
early the bathroom
outside.
don't work in early shop, so he had to go outside. Which I don't know about you, but when he said the bathroom wasn't working, I was like, well, this nigga's life is over.
Oh, I knew he was about to die. I was like, somebody got to die. If you go, got to go. So yeah, Marvin was waiting for him and had a little line and took him out with the silencer, and that was pretty much it for him.
And then he pimped off. He's probably on his way to get something to eat. So
I'm pretty sure he's getting some wings.
yeah,
It felt like a wing type of night for him. Probably
I
some
mean,
type of Probably found a DC joint, got some mambo sauce on there. It just seems like what he would do.
in New York. Hmm.
Yeah, I mean, that's why I said you have to find a DC joint
And
because of that. You see
I
what I'm
didn't know if
saying?
they had DC joints in New York in that
I
time.
feel
But
like
I'm sure,
every place have another just because the other place be trying to like, oh, ain't no competition here. I'm gonna bring our shit to this place. Because Harold's is doing good in LA.
yeah. But
Just
how long did it
just
take for Harold to come to LA?
a while.
I mean, hey, we
Who
just got a
knows?
kilos in Houston, in Texas. Yeah, buddy.
I'm
They did that
jealous.
Italian beef just like they supposed to.
I'm
Anyway,
jealous.
with the hot peppers. Anyway, so with the demise of OC, Kanan tells his girl Crystal, like, yeah, I can't keep you safe, so you're gonna have to leave and go stay with your peoples or whatever like that until this blows over, and then you can come back. um she's not crazy about that, especially since he's so unpredictable
Hmm.
and filled with rage right now. And
Right.
she kind of eloquently points out that even though she don't know Rock all that well, she doesn't think that she's behind what happened to Famous. And she, one thing that she said that was very good, very powerful, is that because of the fact that he's mad at her,
He
he
just blaming
feels
everything on her,
he feels like
basically.
everything bad that happens in life is her fault. I think that's kind of like what she said almost verbatim.
Hmm.
Now he ain't listened, but it was
No.
nice that she put it out there in the universe. Maybe it's in his subconscious mind somewhere, hopefully.
Hmm.
And then she proceeds to go see Rock.
Right. She went to see, well, before she went to go see Rod, and I want to talk about this because this was a scene that we both resonated with, even though it's kind of a small moment, but it's funny to me. The part where Juke went to get her pizza, and then the
Yeah,
cop came and basically made her lose her appetite, and she beautiful big piece of New York pizza just went in the trash because you just
put a
come in
little
there
cheese
and
on it
just
and everything. Like it was
and
about
you see how she was like, yeah, boy, I'm about to tear this up, and here he come. Here he come. Just nobody's gonna talk to you, sir. Like I
exactly.
don't
What do you think this is?
literally are just barking up every tree that's wrong. Like nobody's gonna tell you nothing at all. Like what?
Exactly.
Anyway,
Exactly.
so let's see, because I feel like we didn't talked about most of the show, and really anything that we left out was kind of like some
Kind of
smaller parts.
minuscule. Um,
I kind of want to get into just the last scene with
we have to.
oh boy, Kenyatta and his little henchmen. They was staking out
So they
the
followed them to
studio.
the
Hmm.
studio. So we start there in the daytime. They followed them to the studio. And then, like a fake ass Martin and Will Smith and Bad Boys, these niggas stake out all day at the studio. And at this point, it's been like 12 hours or something. The sidekick is like, hey man, these fools could be here all night. Like, what we doing? And then here go Hotep Kenyatta with a Bantu proverb, um, basically saying, no, we're gonna stay. And they stay, and kind of a bait move. Berilla pops outside. He's the bait. They're like, oh snap, okay, we got action, but they don't move because they
They
don't
don't
see
see
Lou,
Lou.
and they want the both of them,
Hmm.
and the both of them is what they get, not just the way they wanted it though.
Not the way they
In
want
fact,
it
they
at
don't really get
all.
both of them. They get Lou, and they get Lou in a way in which they didn't want.
And he pretty much went back to his old self on them. But
He peekabooed them niggas and then just sprayed the car.
peekaboo, peekaboo. Yep, definitely. Yeah, they should have had a little Kendrick joint in the background. That would have been perfect. Actually, I want to talk about one more thing before we, because kind of skipped around, but those two dirty cops came and followed Crystal onto her bus and then basically kidnapped her because we know they ain't legit. So anything they saying is some bullshit. So essentially, she just got kidnapped and don't know it yet. But from the previews that they did show of the next episode, that is exactly what happened, essentially.
What they do with her pants? Because why she sitting in the corner with her drawers
You
on?
you know they gonna do that. You know they gonna do
I,
that just because
I
they
don't
nasty.
like that. That's oh the
That's a
beast that
shame.
is Kanan gonna pop out.
You
The
said what?
the beast that is Kanan is gonna pop out
Oh,
when because he's done for. He sent her to be safe, and then them of all people. And I feel like in the process of him, if she gets rescued within these next two episodes, these last two episodes, then them popping famous is going to come out,
come out.
and then it's really gonna be, and then they really gonna get Christmas canceled.
It's about to get ugly.
Yes, indeed.
It's about to get ugly on so many levels because the mob stuff about to come to a head. The stuff with Unique about to come to a head. Because I think in the previews he was talking to Unique in the last scene or whatever, and like one of the scenes
Kanan
in
was.
the preview, right? Kanan was. So
So that's coming
it's
to an
about
end.
to get interesting.
I will say this, and thoroughly enjoying this season. This was a very action-packed episode. You niggas gonna have to introduce Tommy and Ghost. Like this is insane. This is the end of season 4. Like, is you cool? I get that you want to really give us this backstory, but you can't, like, at this point it feel like they ain't gonna never get introduced, and that's unrealistic.
Yeah, it's got to happen. I mean, I don't think it's gonna happen these last two episodes just
I
because
don't
of.
either, but it's not. It wouldn't be super far fetched because you didn't lost OC. You
Mhm.
keep losing people that you trusted, so
So
you're
then you
going to
gotta
have to
add in
recoup.
people. Yeah,
So I
we
don't
gonna
think it's
see.
going to
I
happen
don't
until
gonna think it's gonna happen. I feel
and
like
that
next
frustrates
season
me.
is like absolutely, absolutely have to do it type shit. You like they have to by season five because like what are we doing?
Yeah.
Like and I get it to a degree because I mean it felt like the first two seasons was like the same year, you know what I'm saying? So it wasn't the time wasn't moving so fast either. So I don't know, but it was good. I feel like next week's episode is gonna be, it's all I feel like the episode before the season finale really be a fool anyway. So
Hmm.
it's getting good, guys. But
For sure.
anything you want to add?
I'm good. I'm good in the hood.
Think we covered everything that we wanted to. So I am Creed of Exodus Studios, architectsofmars.com, and my co-host is.
Coach Tamara Simone.
And that was a recap of Power Raising Kanan. We will be back next week. Peace, peace.